Welcome into the Casual Gaming Conversation. I'm Connor. That's Nick. This is your weekly gaming podcast from Co-op 64. This week we are doing a little fall preview, going over all the games releasing this fall, giving you our hype meter for each of them, talking about them. But before we get into that, Nick, how we feeling?
Feeling good, dude. I'm excited. This is going to be a fun one. We got 24 games on the slate today, which means it's going to be an exciting and busy-ass fall. I'm excited to do hot takes today. This is one of those takes that, man, I'm excited to talk about, but also I kind of don't want to put out there on the internet type deal. So that's going to be fun, and we have a fun draft to close out the show. But it's Extra Life Eve. It's one of my favorite types of atmospheres, because it almost feels like game days tomorrow. You know, I used to love playing sports as a kid, and I wasn't a great athlete, but I liked playing sports and everything. And it feels like we're getting ready to go and have a game day type of atmosphere. It's going to be exciting that game day is not on the field anymore, but it is in a room with Edward hot dog hands and Buster swords and Leviathan axes and such. But no, I love the night before these things. There's a little bit of a calm before the storm. So I'm excited. Can't wait for this weekend. Obviously, we can't treat this on Sunday like we normally would, because I will be recovering from staying up for 24 hours straight, and you will also be very exhausted, and we try to refrain from shooting after these long ass streams. So we're shooting this on Friday. It's a good vibe though. We've had a fun afternoon thus far. This is the last piece of content we got to produce today. We had CGNC, we had a TikTok slate, where it's now all about the games, Connor. We're talking about the fall game. So I'm excited for this pod. How are you doing?
Yeah, a little peek behind the curtain here. We just shot Casual Gaming News Conversation, and we were like, do we go get food? Do we do something else? It was like, no, let's just go straight into the other podcast. So we're doing these back to back, which is always fun. I'm feeling good, excited for Extra Life tomorrow. Thank you, if you're watching this on Sunday, for everybody who supported us during that stream. Always a blast for a good cause. So very excited to whoop you in some Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, come out on top in WarioWare smooth moves. That's my game, baby.
Is that I think that should be a toss the remote around, and we just try to survive as long as possible.
You play it against each other.
You can't, but also you can
play with one remote.
You can. Or you can just go, let's just try to survive, Connor. Let's play the team.
Have fun? Okay.
Because here's the thing.
There's no point in playing games if I can't beat you in them.
Connor, we have, I think, roughly 18 games we're playing against each other tomorrow. We don't need another
one.
Let's do 19. That's true. WarioWare smooth moves basically is just going to be madness. I'm excited for tomorrow. Can't wait.
Yeah.
And then the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
A lot of pressure.
Have you trained at all?
No.
I still need to download Speedrunners.
Somebody said to do that, and I'm like, nah, I'm not going to put it
it's
in
not
that.
worth
I totally could and just say that I haven't been training in the background for weeks on end or whatever, but I don't want to put in that
I wouldn't be worried even if you did. Let's be real. Hey, Connor.
I would still fuck it up, I'm sure.
Not going to lie. While you were shooting Recollect and Retro, was in the other room, and I was trying to find the promos just so I could post it on my personal Instagram. Which is, and just at you, just tag you, not even send it out to the Discord or anything. Literally just make it personal, okay? As a F you, because I'm going to be your ass tomorrow. It's going to be a great time.
All right, getting into the housekeeping. This show is made possible by all our lovely supporters over on Patreon. The show is truly only possible with all of you. At the lowest tier, you get this show 3 days early. You get the Casual Gaming News Conversation 3 days early, and you get bonus episodes of the podcast every single week. Podcasts like the Donkey Kong Bonanza spoiler cast, the Death Stranding 2 spoiler cast, Nick's Q&A. So go support us over there at that level. At the $10 tier, you get Recollecting Retro and the Co-op 64 podcast, as well as 2 additional bonus TikToks every other week. And at the highest tier, you get your name read at the end of each and every podcast, and you get the chance to write in to be the 4th topic on the Co-op 64 podcast. Over on the Twitch side of things, we are starting our journey into Liza P playthrough. Brady on the sticks, Nick and I co-piloting. It's going to be a lot of fun, so tune in on Mondays for that. Nick is going to be starting Ocarina of Time Tuesdays and Thursdays, playing a retro classic, arguably the best Zelda game, arguably the best video game ever made.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of fun watching him play that. But once he gets through that, he gets into Final Fantasy X, and I'm really excited to see him play another Final Fantasy game.
And also, this is, once again, I'm just going to keep tossing it out there until I have the gumption to put it on our calendar. I want to go and put me playing Cyberpunk as the end of the year Monday stream game. because you guys are going to be away. You guys are going to be busy. Take as much time as you want away from the Monday stream. But come on, man. Cyberpunk? Can you imagine? That's what I imagine the music sounds like.
Back to Final Fantasy X, though, I'm just really excited to see where you land on that game.
Yeah.
If you're going to join me in the it's great, but not the best Final Fantasy, or if this is going to end up being in that top tier for you.
But like for Final Fantasy X, for some people, it's not just the best Final Fantasy game. It is one of the greatest games of all time. It is in that elite tier. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't expect for it to land there for me because I don't love these older Final Fantasy games. So a little bit of a spoiler. I don't know if I'm going to talk about it on the draft board today, but I have written down Final Fantasy 7 on the draft board. 7 OG. I like that game a lot, but I don't love it as much as like the people that adore Final Fantasy 7 and how important that game is to them. It's an important game and it's cool to understand where that came from, but like by the end of that game, I was like, all right, let's wrap it up a little bit. I think that there's a good chance I feel that way about Final Fantasy X. With that being said,
I think you would like Final Fantasy X more than you like Final Fantasy 7 original.
Because it's a PS2 game. And I think that some of those PS2 sensibilities could help it out. I'm stoked for it. I can't wait.
It's the most modern, old-feeling Final Fantasy.
Yeah, which it's got that charm. This is the fun part, too. Are you still recommending Final Fantasy X right now as the go-to Final Fantasy for people?
So I went back and forth on this for a while. I still think that it can be a complete turn-off to some people, depending on your opinion on certain things like anime and how much you value, like, excellent voice acting and stuff like that. I think the writing's a little bit spotty, and I don't know if that's going to turn people away, but it really depends on the person and their own preferences and what they value, like, over for like the different aspects of the game. So like, still though, I think it's probably the best place to start.
Okay.
But because there's no good fucking answer. I think remake is a tough one because you kind of should have played 7 original and Crisis Core before it. So there's homework you have to do to fully enjoy it. So there's that aspect. I think 16, you're like, okay, that's the most modern one, but it's the least like the other Final Fantasies. So like, it's hard to go back to something else if you really like 16 and you want something more like that. It's like, where do you go from there? I guess 7 remake, but then you still run into that same issue. So it's like, I think 10 is the best starting point to utilize to jump to something else. You like this aspect of the game, go play this one. You like this aspect of the game, go play this one.
But I feel like you're basically going to the pizzeria and you're saying like, this is the best base pizza. But that might not be just the best pizza. You know, I want to recommend someone the best pizza,
If
Connor.
you're getting somebody into pizza, what are you going to have them eat?
I'm going to have them eat the best.
You know, you're going to have them eat a cheese pizza or a pepperoni pizza. You're going to go with something basic, which I'm not saying that Final Fantasy X is basic. I'm saying that it's a good floor.
Yeah.
It is Final Fantasy to its core. Pizza at its core
it's a cheese pizza.
Cheese pizza. Yeah. You know what I mean? So play that and then figure out like, oh, maybe I want some sausage on this. So you go to an action game or whatever.
Yeah, what's a sausage? Sausage is action.
Pepper and onions turn-based. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay. But no, I'm excited to go and get after it and see what that game has to offer me. Once again, housekeeping always takes a while, especially when we bring up Final Fantasy X.
And then for me, my stream, I don't know what I'm playing yet. I'll go stare at my video game collection and just look at the games like I do, just blank face and be like, there's too many. What do I choose? And then be like, this, no. And then eventually I will pick something and then probably regret it shortly after.
Are you looking for something short or
I'm always
something
looking for
longer?
something in the 10 to 12 hour range. That is the perfect length for only streaming once a week.
Yeah.
That's the biggest constraint. If I wasn't streaming once a week, world's my oyster. I would be playing JRPGs left and right. I'd be playing Final Fantasy 13 right now.
Well, even like, I will say, I'm going to be playing Final Fantasy 10 towards the end of this year. That it's going to take a while to get through that fucking video game. Like, that's going to be
not that long. I played that this year, which 30, is crazy.
40, 50 hours?
25, 30 hours?
Yeah. I'll look it up, but yeah. So I'm just curious though to see where you stand if like you're looking for something close to that 20-hour mark or not. And just in general in gaming right now, like do you feel like you played a lot of
games? This would be the last
games?
hurrah for something 20 hours because then we're going into busy season. I don't really want to commit to something that's like gonna be drawn out after that.
Final Fantasy X takes 45 to 50 hours.
No shot.
Okay. Well, hopefully it takes shorter than that because I want to move on to playing just other games like Symphony of the Night if I get the chance to this year.
I can pull up my save. It's not that long from what I remember, but you can do side stuff and make it longer.
Hell yeah.
But all right. That's Twitch. Discord, we have a community of over 2,700 community members over there. We're doing game nights starting with Fall Guys this Sunday. That's exclusive to the Discord if you want to play games with us. Nick will be the only one there for this first one. I really wanted to be there. I apologize. I got tickets to see Nine Inch Nails, my second favorite band. So I'm going to go see that. And I'm going to miss out on getting all those crowns and showing the community who's boss at Fall Guys.
I'm going to body you in your existence.
I will be there for the next one. I will be there for the next one.
I most likely will not be there. So
the commitment is that one of us will always be there,
yes.
But the hope is to get as many of us as possible.
Yep. The next one,
just bad timing. Honestly,
it's bad timing.
I never do anything ever, and I'm going out of town for a concert on that specific day.
I will say though, just in general, when it comes to these, we will try to get as many people in as possible. But the truth of the matter is, when it comes to Co-op 64. We travel now more frequently than we expect for business stuff. We don't, and then we are doing these major streams, and there's so much happening all the time, content wise, especially with the boys getting into their busy season, that the commitment is that one of us will be there, and we will make sure that we really don't want to shift dates ever. Because we want people to be able to have this on the calendar and get excited about it. So still get excited. It's going to be a bunch of fun. Mm-hmm. There's still like 100 people that have hit the bell basically to go and notify that they are interested in this. It's going to be a great time. You're going to want to be there. Fall Guys, free to play on basically everything. Show up, show out. It's going to be fun.
We also put all of our forums in there. So if you want to write in for Q&As, for grading your top 5 games, for poorly described plots, you can also vote on what the next fan voted topic is as well. So that's all in the Discord. Also just making friends, hanging out, chatting with us over there. Merch, t-shirts, hoodies, mugs. We have that over on coop64store.com. So support the channel that way if you'd like. Leave us nice reviews over on Apple Podcast Services. It gets the show out to more people, and we would really appreciate that. All right, let's get into the hot takes. Nick, what do we got?
My video game hot take is I am excited for Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Right now, there is a extremely loud contingent of people that are dogging on BO7, and I think a large part of it is truly unwarranted. We are coming off a Call of Duty that was a blast. BO6 came out, the campaign was extremely fun, the multiplayer suite was terrific. Obviously, if you're playing Call of Duty beyond those initial couple months, things like bugs and updates can go and change that experience immensely. I'm talking about the people that hop in, like myself, for a couple months, have their fun, and then move on to other games. I play other games in Call of Duty, obviously. With that being said, it was a great product last year. We're coming off of a really great one. And when
it got worse as it went along.
Yeah, it totally did. I understand that. But
with
still,
Beavis and Butthead skins and such.
But still, I understand that. And the focus is on Warzone, and I don't love that. But because the way that it obviously affects zombies and the way that there's XP sharing, and they really want to focus on this whole ecosystem of Call of Duty. But at the end of the day, you can't take away how good that campaign was. It was a fun, Mission Impossible-esque, Fast and Furious-esque, trippy as hell at times, fun-ass campaign. And so, and the multiplayer was still gas when it first came out. I am excited to have that opportunity again this year in November. It's BO7. They're leaning into some of the trippier aspects that were done so well in the campaign of BO6. Like, that was truly the highlight, I think, for anyone that played that. And they're like, we're going to lean into more of that. I'm like, hell yeah, give me more of that. That sounds awesome. When you look at the multiplayer suite, I assume that, yeah, there's going to be maybe a remastered map or two in there, but probably a lot of new and exciting maps too that they did so well with in BO6 with their new multiplayer suite that they had there for the maps. I'm excited for BO7, and I understand that there is Call of Duty fatigue, so much of it. But there's been Call of Duty fatigue for the past 10 years. I don't understand why this one is getting this just larger than life, people just freaking out. You bring up the Beavis and Butthead skins there. Nicki Minaj was in there, and Snoop Dogg was in there like a year and a half ago. Like,
people didn't like that either.
I understand, but like, I don't understand why it's this one. I think that it's just general Call of Duty fatigue, which is fair, but at the same time, let's have Call of Duty fatigue when they're making mistakes with MW3. We don't need Call of Duty fatigue coming in off of a awesome ass Call of Duty.
I think that the excitement for Battlefield 6 and this grounded military experience in comparison and comparing that to the way that
BO7.
BO7 looks is enhancing the problem. When you look at that in comparison to like this like twisted, trippy world, it's like, what even is the identity of Call of Duty anymore? With that being said, I still think it looks pretty fun. I like that direction that they're going in.
I love that direction.
It's different, and I like Black Ops 3, and it looks like they're adding more movement stuff to it, which I think it is gone full circle where people are like, we need something new. Then they add in the jetpacks, and they're like, okay, that's cool. At first, I liked Advanced Warfare. People like BO3, and then everyone was like, okay, we're sick of this. By the time we got to Infinite Warfare, they go to boots on the ground, and now it's been long enough that I'm like, I could go for a BO3 type experience. I think that would be kind of fun. Yeah. We'll see what they do with the zombies. I'm hoping they do something more classic like Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, and it seems like they might be doing that. It seems
like we're going to get, well, one, we're getting Dead Ops Arcade, rad. Yeah. But then also, it looks like the map might be kind of like Transit, which like...
People think they've seen Farm in the trailer.
There's a bunch of different just outposts, and you're going and driving around a vehicle through fog and stuff like that. But you control the vehicle. It's not like the bus, which is stale and stilted. I'm just across the board. Like I just don't.
I'm not in, but I'm not on the hate train.
But what I'm saying is, I think the hate train is a little bit unwarranted. Not in the sense that it's unwarranted as a whole. It's unwarranted to just call this one out when we probably should have been calling it out. Like, it doesn't make sense that BO6 also didn't get called out for the same shit. Because
BO6 got progressively goofier and stupider with all the skins and everything, and so unserious. And now you're comparing it to Battlefield 6 already, and then you show off Black Ops 7. You're like, it's weird and trippy, and it's kind of like the next step. It's not the same. It's not as goofy as seeing Beavis and Butthead run around, but it's not as serious as something like Battlefield 6.
Which, once again, Battlefield 6 that was awesome.
But people want that from Call of Duty, I think.
I genuinely don't think people do. And when I say that, the people that are playing Call of Duty and showing up to Call of Duty or the people that are playing Warzone right now, or the people that are still going and buying skins.
But Warzone's not doing well, and people are shedding fans. It seems like even people who play Call of Duty fucking hate Call of Duty.
That's been the case for the past 10 years, though. What has changed is my question. Because even with this direction, I think the only thing that really has changed, the only major variable that has changed this Call of Duty compared to the last, is we finally have a competitor to go and look over across the aisle and say, hey, no, we want this instead. Which, once again, I want to play Battlefield 6 more than I want to play BO7. I do. I'm more excited for Battlefield 6 than I am BO7 by a country mile. But even then, it's like, are we just gonna are we just playing one game this year? Like,
I mean, I'm gonna completely skip BO7 for sure, unless Zombies is literally copy paste Black Ops 3 style.
Also, are you? Because guess what? It's on fucking Game Pass, and we can play with our community, and we can have a good time, and you can hop in.
It's also in November where there's not a lot of games.
Like, that's the other thing. The Battlefield 6 is going to be exciting, but I really don't think that Battlefield 6 is exciting for the people that pick up one game a month sort of deal, or one game every other month, because guess what? There's a suite of amazing titles around it. We're going to talk about them in today's fall preview. I'm just saying that I'm excited about BO7, and I have Call of Duty fatigue. I don't like that there's Beavis and Butthead skins. If you give me a good video game with a good campaign and a good multiplayer suite, I don't give a shit. And I believe that that's going to be the case. And I don't know why that people don't think that that's going to be the case. Because what they've shown is they were able to do well with BO6 in the ways that they're pushing forward with this franchise of the story and where they're going with the movement and all that stuff. Worked really well in BO6. Mm-hmm. It's going to work well here, is my guess at least. And I'm excited about Call of Duty BO7. For sure. Like, I'm legitimately... We'll get to my hype meter later in this podcast, but I'm excited.
Nice.
Connor, what's your hot take?
My gaming hot take for this week is more of a PSA than a take. It's to test your tastes, but also know who you are when it comes to those tastes. I think it's important to go outside of your wheelhouse and try games and genres that you aren't necessarily in love with or haven't been in love with in the past, and see every once in a while if it's something that you might be interested in now, because you might hit on finding out that you do in fact like some games in X genre. This kind of happened with turn-based games earlier this year. It might be you with fighting games. You might find a fighting game you love after writing off the genre for a very long time. But also know that like if you've gone down that path over and over and over again, don't get FOMO and don't bend to the hype. I've gone down this path so many times with so many games where people are so excited about a particular game, and it's like I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't really think this is for me, but I want to be a part of the conversation, so let me give it a go. Dragon's Dogma 2 last year is the perfect example. It's like, I don't think this game is for me, but people are really excited about it. Let me pick this up. Literally played it for less than 2 hours probably and was like, not for me. I don't like this. But it was good to test the waters and see if that's the kind of game that I would like. So I think it's important to every once in a while dive in, but also don't get caught up in that FOMO. You know?
Yeah, I think that Kingdom Come Deliverance comes to mind for you and I obviously this year, where it's like, man, oh man, I got not a lot of time and there's a whole bunch of games to play, and I don't think this is going to be for me. And I don't have the time to go and like test this one out necessarily, but if I had some time to test it out, I would test it out. I don't necessarily need to play it, but yeah, sure, I'll test out the game if I get the chance. But you bring it up, it's like, yeah, I never thought I would love racing video games or fighting games, and now those are two of my top 3, potentially top 4 favorite genres behind action games and maybe even Souls games at this point. Yeah, I think that this is a great take. It makes sense, great PSA, because truly, we need to go and take the deep breath every now and then and remember that video games are cool and that sometimes we can be wrong about video games and our opinions when it comes to them. And part of that is growing and learning and deciding, I'm going to actually give this one a shot. I think that there is multiple roguelikes out there that you do enjoy.
Oh, that's another great example where it's like I have that whole take where I say that I don't like roguelikes, and one of my favorite games from this year, Elden Ring Night Reign, is literally a roguelike that I love. So like it's good to test the waters every once in a while, but also like it's okay to skip some games even if there's some pressure to do that.
Yeah, and then I generally think that we cover our bases pretty well when it comes to playing a lot of things. The time commitment aspect is the hardest part to test things, because I can test something for if the game is 10 hours and I can beat it and I don't love it, but I beat it. So cool. Another game on my backlog. It's hard to go and test something when it's like, all right, Final Fantasy 14. Right. You got to hop in for
40 hours.
40 hours.
Even get to like the good part.
Wow. You got to hop in for 60 hours. It's like, okay, I don't know if I have that in me.
And for a lot of these games, it's a big money sink too. It's like, I don't want to spend $70 on something that I'm pretty sure I'm not going to like. And if you're on like PlayStation, you can't refund it.
Totally. So yeah, I think it's a great take. Connor, you ready to hop into the fall preview?
Let's do it.
So, like I said at the start of this, we got about 24 games we're going to go through. Right before this podcast started, I told Connor, how are we going to do this? I don't really know. What's up? Then I thought about the word hype. And I was like, let's get the hype meter out, Connor. Let's gauge on a scale from 1 to 10 how hyped we are for these games.
This is not how good we think they are going to be.
Nope.
That is very important, because there's a lot of games on here that my hype level might be low for that I think is going to be for somebody and probably review decently
immensely well.
Yeah.
This is such an interesting one too, because it's like some of these games I'm excited to talk about, and my hype is very high for things that you might think are low, and are low for some things that should be very high. So we're gonna go hype meter, talk about the game a little bit, a couple minutes on each game. We're not gonna time code all this out. It's just gonna be the fall preview section. But it's also gonna be in order. So if there's a game you're really excited to hear, we're gonna say the date for all these games. So if you're like, I can't wait for them to talk about Ghost of Yote, just scroll to the October section, sort of deal, right? But yeah, we're also going up till December 4th. And these are just games generally on our calendar and radar. We're not talking about every single game that's releasing in the next couple months, hitting on some major releases, talking about a couple smaller titles that have caught our eye or we've heard about and want to discuss. Just a little heads up for this discussion. First and foremost, though, we are shooting this on August 22nd. So all these games are coming out beyond this. But yeah, there's obviously not two. By the time we get to Wednesday, when this releases for everyone, one of these games is going to literally be on the doorstep the next day. Mm-hmm. And that is Metal Gear Solid Delta, August 28th, remaking a game that Connor beat 2 days ago.
I can finally wear the shirt. I bought the shirt thinking that it was just in reference to Metal Gear Solid 1 with Fox Sound, and it's not.
And nope, it's the Fox unit.
So I shelved it for a while, and I was like, once I play Metal Gear Solid 3, I'll take it out. And here we are.
And I obviously, you enjoyed your experience with Metal Gear Solid 3 quite a bit.
So good.
What a finale. Where's your hype meter for this one?
It's tough because I was like, I'll definitely hop right into this after beating the original version of the game. And now it's like, do I really want to do that? I don't know. I probably will because it's so short. It's 10 hours, 11 hours, I think is how long it took me to beat it. Maybe closer to 12. And I loved that experience so much that I'm willing to run it back, I think. I would say my hype meter is about an 8 out of 10. I love Metal Gear Solid 3. I think it's great. I think that it is a step above 2.
Yeah.
I would go 1, 3, 2 now. But I wouldn't consider this like one of the GOATs, one of my favorites of all time. I don't think it would be in my personal top 30. When we're top 50, I think we're probably in that ballpark maybe.
If we're doing Connor's top 50, that whole list that you did, is it in that conversation at all? Or
yeah,
I'm not saying it's on the list, but I'm just curious to see if it's
I would
in that
say
realm.
It would be, yes.
Okay, great. For me,
but I think it's better than games like Overcooked.
Okay, great. For me, 9 out of 10 hype. Watching you beat this, it was the thing of like, damn, I probably shouldn't be watching basically the last 5 hours of Metal Gear Solid right now because I'm going to play it in a week and a half from now.
Yeah.
But I literally can't take my eyes off of it because I think from the sequence, and I said this in the chat, there's a sequence with a lot of characters in a room together until the rest of the game. I am like, this is peak to me. Like, this is like 10 out of 10 shit. The only reason that the game is not a 10 for me is because I think the start is just a little too slow.
It gets better as it goes.
It so
sure.
does. And I generally think the last 5 hours of this game is legitimately masterpiece the entire way. Every voice performances are amazing. Characters are amazing. Every line of dialogue sounds like it's Shakespearean to some level. Like, it is so well written, so good, and so emotional, and so beautiful. Like, I was loving watching you play it. I would be at a 10 if I didn't watch it, though, because I would be like, I need more Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater in my life because this is one of my favorite games of all time. This is a remake. Also, I'm somebody that often likes modern video games. So I'm excited to try this one out with having played the 2004 version of Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater and try out this one that's modern with gorgeous graphics and beautiful design. And honestly, I'm really excited to see the final 5 hours of this game again, especially the final fight in this game with modern graphics.
I think the idea that it is so one for one is kind of turning me off a little bit in comparison to something like Resident Evil 4, which I did the same thing for. I played RE4 original, went right into RE4 remake, and got two totally different experiences. The fact that it is, for all intents and purposes, the same fucking game, but just looking better is kind of like making me a little bit wary. I know that that's exactly what people want. I'm just saying for my specific situation here, having just come off of it, it's making me not like really chomping at the bit to run back through this. But I'm excited. I'm also excited because I feel like I could have done so much better in playing this off stream, and that's just a core aspect of stealth games in general. It's like you get seen halfway through a sequence and then you're kind of just running and gunning, and it's like, man, I feel like I could have gotten through this whole thing without getting seen, and it's like, I wish I could just run it back right now, and I am getting the opportunity to run it back immediately, which is exciting. It's
also an interesting one where review scores are out as we're shooting this, and it's around that 87 on OpenCritic. I'm shocked that it's not higher. And I think a large part of it is due to the fact that people are just comparing it as a remake and everything, and it doesn't have that extra sauce that people are kind of looking for. But really, if they just remade one of the greatest games of all time and it looks better and you're able to play it exactly how it was, I'm kind of shocked that it's not blowing the doors off when it comes to the
It just
review
begs
aspect.
the question, like, what's the point then? Like, just to get better visuals? It's like Metal Gear Solid 3 already looks great.
Here's my thing. I'm very excited for Brady to play this game, because I think that Brady, with modern sensibilities,
is he going to play this without playing MGS 1 and 2?
Yeah, I think that's a fine thing to do.
People were talking about how it spoils those games, and I don't really know what you're talking about. I'm sure you're right, whoever has said that there are things that it spoils in future games.
No, you're not picking those up on a first playthrough.
That's what I was thinking. It's like there's stuff that will make their little callbacks or whatever, which I guess are call forwards because they're from
Yeah.
the future or whatever. That you would appreciate it if you had played 1 and 2, but I don't think it's like ruining those games by any means.
Yeah, no, I completely disagree that
Yeah.
would spoil at all to some level. But yeah, I'm stoked. I would be out of 10. This is looking at the board, it's probably got the highest chance for me to be my game of the year for the rest of the way.
I just don't think that's fair. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Just
man,
'cause, like it's just the same game.
And Connor,
It's kind of a cheat code.
Is it? Yes, it is. But I also
Like
stand.
Silent Hill 2 is so different. Resident Evil 4 is so different. This is literally just a better looking
I think that
version of the same game.
if the camera angles are different and you're playing it as a compared to these designated cameras and everything that make that game feel very vast. That's the other part of it. Whereas like I think that there's a chance to go lower with it after playing it in this new mode. Like I wouldn't be shocked if I don't love the more curated, very cinematic aspect of the way that the cameras are set in that game to make me feel like I'm in the jungle. It's the stealth aspect is so intense. I'm okay with sitting in grass for a long time and waiting for an enemy to go by. I'm willing to go and peel off every single piece of shrapnel that's in my arm and click those buttons and everything. Like I love the way that game works
Were
and
you
plays.
going to specific things when you were healing?
I
For
think
me,
so,
I was just
yeah.
clicking everything.
Yeah, no, I was
Okay.
dude, I was having a blast. Like I love Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater in the way that I love some of my favorite games ever. It could be my favorite game ever if I really wanted to talk myself through it and convince myself that being the case. It's at like number 7 or 8 as of right now. I'm so excited for this. I expect it not to be my game of the year. But I wouldn't be shocked if I gave this thing like a 9.5. It's one of the few things that I'm like, yeah, it could be a fucking 9.5 because I have a Snake Eater as a 9.5. And that's the other thing.
I think I would give Snake Eater an 8.5 or a 9, somewhere in that ballpark.
And I'm but which I expected from
Which is
around
around where I'm at. I would give, I think, MGS2 an 8 or an 8.5.
Yeah.
And I would give MGS1 a 10.
Yeah, for me, MGS1 is a 9.5, MGS3 is a 9.5, MGS2 and 4 are both 9s for me. So I fucking love these games. I'm so excited to play more of Metal Gear. All right, moving on. Shinobi Art of Vengeance, a game I previewed at SGF. I really enjoyed it. My hype meter is sadly at a 5 out of 10. And it's due to the thing that we talk about all the time. There's too many gosh darn games. It's coming out a day after, August 29th, after Metal Gear Solid Delta. There's games right after it that are also exciting as hell for me. I'm excited about this game, but I just don't know if I'm going to get time. I really hope it reviews really well and makes me need to get to it sort of deal. But this is one that I just don't think I'm going to get to.
I would say I'm around a 6 probably, and that's mainly because I didn't like Ninja Gaiden Ragebound very much.
Oh,
I'm
interesting.
kind of itching for this type of experience. Would you say that this game is fluid to play? Like your movement is very kind of like
Go.
quick and like you're going from action to action.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't feel that way about Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, and that was like a big hang up for me. Is like I never felt like I was kind of continuing my motion and comfortable is the word that I would use with the game. Like
You want this is a total non sequitur.
yeah.
You should stream Katana Zero. You're talking about this like 2D being a little bit more
Right.
fluid. Go. Oh, dude, you should stream Katana Zero, especially that DLC coming up sometime soon. Apparently, I'm just tossing it your way, but yeah,
there was no momentum in Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, and that's what was my big hang up. Do you feel like there's momentum in Shinobi?
I remember
Okay.
there being a good amount of momentum. I remember like that demo went fast, dude, and it wasn't like I had a while to play it. I think I had like 45 minutes of hands on. Like it was a meaty ass demo, and I was like, holy smokes! Like I love the sequencing of this game where everything I'm doing feels good, feels right. But I also don't think that it's crazy long. But I know Ninja Gaiden 4 wasn't crazy, or not 4. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound also wasn't that crazy long.
Yeah, I got 2/3 of the way through maybe, and I was just like, this feels like a chore. I don't really want to keep playing this.
I'm excited. This is one of those that like with all these games that I've called out, I think that no matter what, if it reviews immensely well, I'm going to try to find time. Like if it hits that 90 plus and GOTY territory, it's like, yeah, I'm going to fucking figure it out and go from there. But like,
I like to think that I will find time, but it's one of those games that I feel like could slip through the cracks for me.
well, another game that now feels like it could slip through the cracks, August 29th, the same day as Shinobi, Lost Soul Aside. where's your hype meter with Lost Soul side, Connor?
It's high. I want a fun, kind of just very digestible action game, and I think this is delivering that. I also like the look of this game. It reminds me of something like Final Fantasy Versus 13, which ended up becoming Final Fantasy 15, which kind of got a different vibe when it made that change. So I kind of like just the general tone and vibe of this game. It's been on my radar for a very long time. It's coming out at the worst fucking time possible.
Yep.
And it sucks because when it came out, when it had its original release date in May, I think it was May 30th, it was like, that's a little bit better.
But it also was Night Rain o'clock for us. And so we were.
Well, it was sandwiched between Night Rain. Oh wait, no. Was it the
Night
same
Rain
day
was the
as
same
Night
day.
Rain?
Yeah. So here's the
Well,
thing.
I feel like we finished Night Rain, and then we have until
Switch 2, which is 6 days later.
I was gonna say we had until Death Stranding 2.
Nah, Switch 2, 6 days later.
Yeah.
No, it was.
But
it
Switch
was,
2, I felt like I could have played something on PS5 at the same time.
I
very
understand
easily.
that.
Yeah.
So what's your number? Hype meter. Lost Soul side.
I would say my hype is at like a 7 out of 10 probably, but I'm just afraid that I'm not gonna get to it.
I'm gonna be honest with myself, and this is the hard part. Like, and we said this on CJNC that it's gonna be basically us just talking about if we're gonna get to it to some level, but also how good the game is. And this is one that I don't think I'm going to get to this year.
What if it gets 9s? What if it's at a 90 on Metacritic?
Then I'm going to get to
Yeah.
it, Connor. That's how this works.
I don't think it's going to. I
don't
think
either.
the range of outcomes for this game is vast. I could literally see it being like a 60.
Well, I think that the most likely outcome of this game is it's somewhere between the 77 to 82 mark.
Yeah.
And with that being said, if that is the case, I will not have time to play it.
What if it's an 86?
You found the right number, man. Because 87, I'm like, I might get to it. 85, I'm like, I probably won't get to it.
Yeah.
86. If it's an 86 on Metacritic, I literally will just look at my daily calendar and see if I can find the time.
Yeah.
And also look how long it is. This is something that we don't say a lot. Like, a week like this, Connor knows how busy I've been with getting Extra Life together and just like editing, and obviously we can't do any work this weekend, so there's a lot of moving and shaking. Capcom preview, I'm on 6 streams. Like, I didn't play video games this week. I didn't have time in the work day to like get a quick shot to play some Hollow Knight. You know, like that's sort of normally, it's not always the case. Sometimes I have that time, but normally it's a lot of like is going moment to moment. So my weekends are very precious to find some of that game time. And so when I look at like how stacked of a schedule this is, I'm being real with myself. It's like, I'm going to look at that week of, okay, what's coming down the pipeline? What do we got coming up for just the next couple weeks? Are we reviewing anything? Like all that stuff. And if I'm still working through, well, the nice part is I'm going to beat Delta in 4 days. I will beat Delta. We get it Thursday. We're reviewing it that Sunday. That's my plan. I will get that done in time. What?
Wait, we have to beat it?
I'm going to try to beat it.
Oh, no. Wait, we shoot the podcast on Saturday, though.
Oh yeah, you're right. Maybe we don't beat it then. Yeah,
give me time. I'm out of town all week next
true.
week. I leave
That's
on Thursday.
Maybe we push it a week. But no, we'll figure it out. It's not that big of a deal. But I probably will beat it by that Sunday, just because you are out of town and Bray's out of town, so I'll have time to game. But like, I'm excited for Delta, and then I'm excited for the next game. And those games are 5 days fucking apart.
Yeah.
So like, it's really hard to be like, okay, there are 4 games that span of 5 days that are all seemingly going to be great to amazing titles. It's really hard to decide what to play and how to play it. And honestly, this is part of like the conversation of what we're trying to do today, is not just for ourselves, but also let the audience know, like, hey, like, this should be on your radar to some level. This is what we're really anticipating and getting excited about. But also, I don't want to go and dispel some of the excitement that we don't have because we don't have enough time for something like Shinobi Art of Vengeance, which seems awesome. And I can't express how awesome that game really was to demo, and how much I wish it came out in July. Like, if this game came out in July when I had a little bit more time between Bonanza and Death Stranding, it would be like, awesome. Let me take it on the Switch.
Yeah.
Let's go. But like, it's just a shit show of a time period right now.
When it comes to Lost Soul, I could see that being a game that I don't play at launch, but get to in like November or December.
Yeah, I could. November is green grass and hot dads right now. Like, that is clean up season. Like, we are 4th in the batting order. We're going and hitting a couple homers and just sending it.
We have enough games with release dates for this year. We don't need to announce anything else.
Yeah, seriously, please. But we've talked about it on CGNC. It's probably going to be a September Direct and a Nintendo Direct, and all of a sudden Witchbrook's dropping November 17th. You know,
Right.
like, There's just a lot happening,
Mixtape.
but I would love mixtape to drop this year. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I really hope it happens in November. That would be a perfect November
January
last moment.
26. Calling it.
That's
here.
a great call.
Yeah.
That's a really good call because also dominated. That would be such a good January game. I just want it sooner. Hollow Knight Silksong 10.
10.
All right, Hell is Us.
No. 8 or 9, maybe. Actually, I don't want to get caught. I'm getting caught up in the hype. You know what
Connor,
I mean?
I want to start here.
But I don't love Hollow Knight.
I played
that much.
2 hours of Hollow Knight on stream. By the end of it, all I wanted to do that entire day was find more time to play Hollow Knight. I'm driving. This is yesterday, right? Oh man, dude, this week. This is yesterday. I'm driving to your place to pick up consoles to test consoles. I get a phone call from our mother, and I go, and she's like, yeah, "How's your week going?" I'm like, "It was great. I got to play some video games that I actually enjoyed because I've been playing Mario Sunshine." And that's the only game I got to play this week until I got Hollow Knight. And I was like, this is so good. And I finally was able to sink into it a little bit. And I got to the second actual boss fight in the second area. And I'm like, I want more of this. And so to have a new and exciting, one of, if not the most exciting indie title of all time, to be coming out in 2 weeks, it's like, yeah, I want more of this. I want it now. Let's do it. I was also wrong when I said Metal Gear Solid Delta is the only chance that we have for the rest of the year at 9.5. I could easily see this being 9.5 and up.
Yeah.
So I'm stoked. Can't fucking wait. I need to gas pedal Hollow Knight.
I imagine if I like this more than Hollow Knight, I won't like it so much more that I'm at like a 9.5. I could see myself giving it a 9 potentially, but I imagine it's going to be more better Hollow Knight, and I love Hollow Knight. I think it's an 8 out of 10. You and I have weird definitions of love when it comes to games. I say I love 8 out of 10s all the time.
I don't love 8 out of 10s.
Okay, all right.
I don't love them.
So I love Hollow Knight. I think it's a great game, but I'm not like as high on it as other people. So I would say my hype is probably 8 or 9. Actually, I said 10 because it's just hard not to get swept up in the excitement.
It's so exciting. Next up comes out the same day as Hollow Knight. Nah.
Yeah, sorry.
Nah. It really sucks. Hell is Us. I was decently excited about this. I watched a Kind of Funny Games cast. Greg Miller previewed it and talked about it for like 40 minutes.
Said it was his most anticipated game for the rest of the year.
Exactly. And that got me excited because that guy knows ball. You know, like he's one of those people that I can look to as a critic and be like, yeah, I normally align with a lot of his opinions when it comes to games. And so I'm excited about this. My hype meter after the Hollow Knight hype that I understand. That day is going to be defined by picking up Hollow Knight Silksong, picking up on Game Pass and playing that. Like, I can't wait for that moment now. I hope to get to this, but like, even I look at the next game that we're going to talk about, I think that the next game is going to be a little bit shorter and could be an extra little checkbox in the month of September. I'm going to still say 5 out of 10 because I think that there's a chance it comes out and reviews well and there's that whole aspect of it. But I'm not expecting this to, unless it takes the world on fire with a lot of these other games. I don't know where I'm going to land.
In a vacuum, if we're not factoring in other releases,
just Hell is Us.
I would say like 7 out of 10 probably excitement.
I would say 7.
I want to support new IP. I want to support new weird ideas. It's PlayStation second party, I think, or no, it's coming out on everything. Actually,
I think it's coming out on everything.
It's just been shown at State of Plays over and over again, so I associate it with PlayStation. So yeah, I generally would be interested in this and want to support it, but I just don't think I'm going to have the time probably because of Silksong. That really threw a wrench in it.
Next up, we have Baby Steps. This is the goofy game that got announced in the first State of Play that we ever reacted to as Co-op 64 in this apartment back in 2023.
Is this with the one guy or is this the little bird one? You know
no, this is the one guy.
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what the bird one is. I'm thinking about the squid one, the Darwin's Paradox game right now that still doesn't have a date for this year. I don't know about the bird game they're talking about. I'm very confused. Anyways, Baby Steps, I have it on my fantasy critic team, so I'm kind of excited about that. I could use a short comedy goofy game right now. I'm at like a 6 out of 10. maybe even, yeah, I'll say like a 6. Like I'm looking forward to this, and if I have the time, that would be great.
It might be a short hike, but I don't think that that's
Okay.
what I'm thinking of.
Where are you at with baby steps?
I think that this game looks funny, and it's Bennett Foddy, and he makes funny, terrible, but also fun video games. Yeah, he made Getting Over It.
Yep.
Very familiar with this. And that game is complete chaos and addicting, and just getting over that mountain is a journey, and and it's painful, but it's fun. And I think that you're getting a similar experience here from what we've seen. I think it's really trying to focus on that comedy from the trailers that we've gotten. And I think it could be a fun, hilarious romp.
Yeah.
Do I think this game is going to light the world on fire? No. When it comes to my excitement for it, I would say it's probably 4 out of 10.
Okay.
Probably. Like, I would say that there is some excitement, but not very much.
Next up, I think that this is one that we're going to talk about for a little bit, or just say one nice thing and move on. Borderlands 4 coming out September 12th, Connor's birthday. Happy birthday, Connor. Where are you at with the hype meter for Borderlands 4, or as everyone should call it, Borderlands?
If you asked me at the beginning of the year or at announcement of Borderlands 4 last year, I would have said like 3 out of 10. I picked up Borderlands 3 and I was like, this is fine. I'm not really feeling this right now. I really enjoy Borderlands 2. Didn't love Borderlands 1 when I first played it, but for this now, after previews and trailers and people going hands-on with it, like I would say I'm at like a 9 out of 10. It's coming out at the right time. Co-op to play with you and Brady and somebody else, I think is going to be a ton of fun. It's checking all the boxes for me to be really excited for it, which I am shocked I am saying, honestly.
I'm going to say 8 for me. I'm very excited for all the reasons that you just said, but it's still Borderlands. But I'm still excited about it.
Have you
like
played Borderlands?
I remember playing Borderlands 2 like a little bit, just like running around the first level of Borderlands 2, like being really young. What is Borderlands 2? 2011, 12?
Something like that.
Yeah,
It's PS3.
yes.
And there was another one after it though, the pre-sequel. That
2012. I did
Okay.
play Borderlands 2, for sure. But I didn't like beat it by any means. I don't have fond memories with Borderlands. This is really gonna be my first foray into the Borderlands franchise in a major way, and so I'm stoked because I like playing games with you. And honestly, it's coming out at a decent enough time where it's like, can I get Silksong done in 8 days? Probably not, but I'll have that on the Switch. And like you said, it's nice to have a Switch game and a PS5 game and take one on the go with you. And so yeah, I would say like an 8 out of 10. Dying Light the Beast is what we have up next. What an interesting game. September 19th, coming out, I will say, at a relatively really good time. Like, it kind of owns that weekend. It doesn't, I wouldn't be shocked if it's a shorter game. It's a 10-hour, 12-hour. You can kind of beat it in a weekend or a week. With that being said, like a 3.
1 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
I have no interest in this game. And it's just, like I said earlier when talking about my hot take and knowing your taste, it's like I liked Dying Light 1. And when Dying Light 2 came out, I was like, just not really feeling zombies at this point in my life. And I feel the exact same way right now. Like, I'm excited that people are excited about it. I'm excited that they're going back to their roots with this main character that people seem to have some fondness for. And that hopefully it's going to come out in a more polished and better state than Dying Light 2 did, because it's a more refined, tighter experience. They're going for something a little bit smaller here. So I'm excited for people who are excited about it. I just know myself, not for me. 1 out of 10.
3 for me. If it reviews immensely well, I might give it a shot.
Yeah.
That like, I think if it hit 90s, Connor wouldn't even try it. But like, yeah, like for me, if it hit that like area, I could see myself giving it a shot. I don't expect that from this game though. Moving on, Sonic Crossworlds, a game that you and I both previewed September 25th. I'm going to kick this one to you first.
I don't know. Maybe like a 3 out of 10. Like, I could see myself playing this with you if you purchased it, but I don't think I'm going to be playing this on my own and grinding out online races in Sonic Crossworlds Racing. Like, it's just, I thought this game was fun. It felt pretty good on the sticks, but like, I feel like I'm getting a lot of racing this year from Mario Kart, and then now we have Kirby Air Riders later in this year that I'm like, I don't really need to kind of bridge that gap with Sonic Crossworlds Racing.
I do need to bridge that gap. I like racing games, and I thought that the preview that we had was great. Like I had a great time with that preview. 7, it's coming out at a good time. I think the game is going to be quality. Like I think that I wouldn't be shocked if this game is like a 77 on Metacritic sort of deal. But I wouldn't be shocked if I'm on the 8 side of that 77, where you get a 77 and there's a lot of 75s, a lot of 8s. I thought that this was a great time. I really did. And you got a fun character roster. Yeah, like I could see myself diving in more than one night of playing. Because I feel like when it comes to racing games and some of these like try it out for a weekend type deals, it really comes down to, are you going to give it that second night? Are you going to give it that third night? For
How
me,
expensive is this game? Sorry to interrupt.
I assume it's 70.
I think it's 70, which sounds just like a lot for this
Yeah.
this game. I think 50 would be the sweet spot, but
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to this. $60 on Nintendo.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it enough where it's like, yeah, like I want to play this, and you talk about like genres hitting at certain times for you. I'm still enjoying playing Mario Kart World. I got some Mario Kart World in earlier this week with some buds. Had a great time. Like I'm gonna be playing Mario Kart World all the time. But we talked about Forza Horizon 6 today on CGNC. It's like I'm excited for that next racing hit. I'm always looking for that next racing hit at this point. This is a fun little way to fill out September, which as I'm looking at it, like for me, it's gonna be Hollow Knight, and then that probably Sonic. Like I'm not hopping into a bunch of games really. So I think that at that point, and Borderlands 4, where that's gonna be late night grinding and all that. This will be one that'll be fun to go and pick up and then review later that weekend and put a score on it and check off that box. But also just really enjoy the music and the worlds and the different like the cross world aspect of this game. I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to this one really. I feel like I have to convince the audience because I've given certain games like 4s on excitement level and I'm like 7 for Sonic, and it's like I'm not a Sonic guy, but I like racing games a whole bunch. And this is going to kind of hit at a good point. Next up is Silent Hill F. Also on September 25th. I'm starting this one.
yeah, go for it.
I think I'm at a 3 out of 10
Really?
with Silent Hill F.
How was the last trailer? I turned it
It looks
off.
great.
Yeah.
And the reason that I sort of am not stoked on this one is I just want to remind the audience and you to some level, I like pristine horror games and horror experiences. I like horror games that are so good that I would feel foolish to not play them because they're such good video games. That is why I try out Alan Wake 2. That is why I tried out Resident Evil 4 Remake and 2 Remake and 7. That's why I played Dead Space Remake. But I don't love the horror genre by any means. I love certain games in that genre because they are such good video games. But that's not me. I'm not like I don't schedule me playing horror games unless I'm like I understand it's great content. We'll talk about it. We'll have meetings and be like, hey, let's put this on a thermometer because it's always funny to watch you shit your pants on camera. But like when I look at this rest of the year, if it comes out and it gets that 88, 89 raving reviews, GOATY contender, I'll give it a shot. I will. But unless it hits that, I just don't really, I'm not excited about that. I'm not excited to sit in my apartment alone and play Silent Hill F, So that's just me. But just a little reminder to the audience, it's just not really my bag unless it's great. And then maybe I'll give it a
You
shot.
said the 25th?
Yeah, September 25th.
And then just give me a little preview for the next few games. Is Yote is pretty shortly after that?
It's a week after. Man. And a game I don't think you're going to try, but I think I might, is Tactics next.
Okay. I think I will have the time to play this.
Yep.
So with that in mind, I would say like an 8 out of 10. Like this is probably up there for me for most anticipated games for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I loved Silent Hill 2 last year, and I'm just crossing my fingers that the Silent Hill franchise is back on track and that this will just be another solid entry. I like the direction they're going in with just like straight up horror, like even less action than what's in Silent Hill 2, which is not a ton anyways, but like I don't think there's guns in this as far as I can tell. You're just swinging a pole against your enemies and that's it. So I think that that lends me to think that this game is going to be pretty frightening. You're going to be pretty vulnerable, not have the ability to fight back and just kind of trudging through these freaky environments. I'm all about that.
Yeah.
so funny because I am not good with horror stuff when it comes to movies, but horror games, because
Sign
I'm
'em
on
up.
the sticks, I
Sign
can
'em
do it.
up.
I like having the agency, and this gives me that.
I will say, I forgot when I put this in, but I did some scheduling for us like months ago. I do have only you reviewing this game. Like I don't think that I'm gonna play this most likely, unless it's unbelievable, and I hope it is unbelievable. I want all these games to be great.
Dude, the range of outcomes for this game as well, similar to Soul Aside. It's like I don't
think
fucking know.
it could be 60s, it could
Yeah.
be 90. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Next up is FF Tactics Remake. I understand that there's a name besides that. 5.
2. I'm already
yeah.
playing it, and I'm not exactly in love with it. I would like to finish it at some point this year, but I wouldn't like restart on the Switch 2 and play the remake. It doesn't look like the enhancements are like that impressive to me. Like I think it still looks great in its original version. They didn't really change the art style that much. They streamlined some of the progression systems to make it easier to follow, but I'm already deep in the weeds on that in my own playthrough. Like I'm not going to restart from the beginning and just for those quality of life improvements. So yeah, I'm not playing this.
I assume that I might give this one a shot. Might not beat it. If I have the time, I will.
It also doesn't have the War of the Lions content in it.
Yeah.
So you're getting less of an experience apparently.
But also that means nothing to me. I just want to try this one out. I know it's one of the best Final Fantasy games ever.
Ben Starr is a voice actor in it. Come on.
Ben freaking Starr.
Yeah, that's pretty cool that they added voice acting.
Yeah. And that helps me a lot. Like I reading a bunch in a game for 40 plus hours is not normally my
Nick
bag.
cannot read, is what he said.
CGNC, sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. Y'all hear me read way too often at this point. Man, reading out loud will never not be
it's the
difficult. Next up, a little game, indie title called Ghosts of Yote. Small studio, Sucker Punch, October 2nd. Is it a 9 or is it a 10 for you?
I think it's probably a 10.
Yeah.
It's coming at the right time, too. I'm really kind of itching to play something that's digestible, open world, checkboxy. We got an open world experience semi-recently with Death Stranding 2, but that's so different in comparison to something like this where it's just like action focused, combat focused, doing little collectible side mission stuff like where you're doing, I assume, I haven't seen a ton about this game, like shrines and haikus and stuff like that from the first Ghost game. So I'm excited for this specific type of game, and the fact that it is another game in the Ghost universe, it's like sign me the fuck up. Like I'm all in.
Yeah, I'm also at a 10. Money in the Bank type video games, dude. It was my hot take a few months back now where I was talking about sequels and how they help fill out a year. I look at a lot of these games as question marks. And to have October, which is one of the most insane video game months I've seen, I'm very, very excited to have Ghost of Yote kick it off strong. And this is one of those, just a heads up, we're going to take our time with. We're going to try to find as much time as possible. This is, don't expect Connor on every Lies of B stream. Don't expect me on every Lies of B stream. Like, we're going to try to find as much time to play this game in a way that respects and honors how cool this game seems to be.
The only situation I could see where this game is a letdown is if we get in a Spider-Man 2 situation where, like, technically on paper, maybe the gameplay is better, but the story is a letdown. And I think that what they've laid out for where the story is going, I think is interesting, but it's not a guarantee that it hits as hard as the story in Ghost of Tsushima. But you don't love the story.
I was about to say, I think that's why I'm really excited about this, where combat, I'm at like a 9 from Ghost. Open world design might be a 10, like just with the wind mechanic, foxes and birds taking you every which way, platforming and those type of sequences around that 8. And then I think the story is like, it's great. It reminds me, that story reminds me a lot of the way I feel about Spider-Man 2, where I'm like, it's great, but I also feel like I could have gotten through this entire story myself and like thought of it myself.
I think the story in Spider-Man 2 is good.
Yeah,
barely.
I think that the story in Ghost is also good,
and the story in Ghost is great.
And so when I think that I think it's good. It has a phenomenal finale. Is Ghost of Tsushima Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core when it comes to how that story works? And there's a couple awesome moments, and then there's a couple just like whatever moments, kind of. But yeah, no, I think that they could heavily improve in that area. And Erika Ishii, who is voicing this, love their content on Dropout. I watch. I didn't realize how much like I've seen in my life at this point, but it's a lot. She's terrific. Can't wait to see what her performance looked like as Atsu. Can't wait for this one. Can't wait. 10 out of 10 excitement. Man, we are about to swing that pendulum the other way with Little Nightmares 3, October 10th. 2?
I give this a 1.
Yeah, 2.
I have not played Little Nightmares 1 or 2, so and it's also, you also have to factor in that it's a new developer, and the people who made the originals like went off and are making something that looks more interesting than Little Nightmares 3. So like, yeah, no, I'm good.
All right, moving on. Also October 10th. By the way, that's another one of those. I didn't want somebody in the comment section to be like, "Why didn't you talk about Little Nightmares 3?" So we just gotta.
And
people
I
love
think that I would
too.
probably like Little Nightmares 1 and 2. Don't get me wrong. I have no hype for 3 because I haven't played the original 2. So
moving on. Battlefield 6, October 10th. How you feeling?
10. Boom! This game's gonna be fucking awesome, dude. I cannot wait. It's similar to Borderlands, where if you had told me at the beginning of the year that one of my most anticipated games for the rest of the year was going to be a fucking Battlefield game, I would have been like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I am so in. I am so excited for this one. That beta has me fiending for more. Just don't fuck it up. Just launch decently and just give us that experience that we got in the beta, and we're going to be sitting pretty. This game's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait, dude. I can't wait. I like multiplayer games. And honestly, I like multiplayer games when you're also excited about multiplayer games.
And the other factor here is that we played it. So, like...
We know.
Exactly. We know what it's going to be, and I'm already... They got me addicted already. Like, and now I just want more. Whereas, like, something like Ghost, it's like... Okay, I've played Tsushima, and I'm excited about getting more of that, but, like, I don't know exactly what that is. I know exactly what... Borderlands 6 is, and I love it.
Battlefield 6.
Battlefield 6, thank you.
Borderlands 4, same deal. Very excited too. Yeah, I think I'm at like a 9. Like, it's not the same level that I have for Yote or even Hollow Knight at this point, but it's right up there. Can't wait. It's going to be a blast. Moving on to Pokemon Zod, October 16th. 7 for me.
Interesting. Yeah, I think I'm probably in that ballpark.
Exciting. Hopefully we can find time to get to it. We've been talking about our schedule over the past like 2 weeks in a major way, figuring out how we're gonna juggle all these reviews. That is the one that like someone will play it hopefully, but there's so much happening, and I want to get to this, but I don't know if I will. So we'll see.
I liked playing Pokemon Fire Red earlier this year. Got me kind of back into the franchise a little bit. I've always, as I talked about, did I talk about it on this podcast or the last one? It's blending together. That I've always dreamed of Pokemon battles being like in real time, and that's what I always wanted from the mainline games. And this seems to be kind of delivering on that, as I understand it from the trailers that I've seen. I like the direction this is going in, and hopefully it doesn't look like absolute dog water because it's running on Switch 2. And I think that this seems like a good re-entry point into the Pokemon franchise. So
moving on, we have Keeper Double Fine, October 17th. I'm also going to say 7.
8.
I'm excited. Oh, I might be at that 8 also because it's going to be short. It's going to be wacky and wild. That like it's going to be quality.
Good. Yeah, like
they don't make bad games really. Like we said, one of my favorite lines, I bring it up all the time. Good developers make good games, and this is a really good developer, and they're probably gonna make a really good game.
I think this is just kind of a guarantee that it's gonna deliver. And like you said, I love me a short video game, so that's what I assume we're gonna get here, and we're gonna get something really unique. It's a fucking lighthouse and a seagull or something. Like hell
yeah. Moving on, we have Ninja Gaiden 4, October 21st. I'm gonna let you go and get stoked.
9 out of 10.
Yeah,
another similar to Battlefield, where it's like as long as it keeps up the pace of those first 4 chapters that we got to play, like I am so in on this game. I think it feels amazing to play. I love the art style that it's going for. I just want something that isn't mindless, but is easy to pick up and enjoy. And I think that's what it's going to give me.
Yeah, I'm at a 7. Also, I'm excited. Once again, anything that's like a 6 and above is like, I'm going to play it, and I'm probably going to play it because I have a large amount of interest in it. But like to get that 8, 9, 10 area, there's a chance I'm high-fiving Connor about it at this point. So I'm going to give Ninja Gaiden 4 a shot. I'm excited about it, but like I'm not where I'm at with Metal Gear Solid Delta.
My hand hurts from high-fiving so much.
We high-fived so much on CGNC. It was a great time. Moving on to Once Upon a Katamari, October 24th. I'm at a -10. I'm not playing this game. There's not a chance I would find time to play this game.
I might pick it up. Like a 5 probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then we move on to The Outer Worlds 2, October 29th. Where are you at?
1 out of 10. I haven't played the original. I'm not going to be a poser and hop in here.
Don't have time to play the original beforehand.
I just I don't know. I've tried The Outer Worlds. That would be a good game that we wish you liked for the draft that we're doing later. And I just couldn't get into it. And I assume that it's going to be the same thing for The Outer Worlds too. So I'm taking a back seat on this one. Excited for the people who are excited about it.
8 out of 10.
Nice.
I'm excited for a game from this team that is not a fantasy game. I want a sci-fi game. I want a game with the guns. I want that type of experience. Give me cool dialogue choices. Don't make it a 50-hour RPG. Get around that 25-ish hour mark.
But Avowed was so good.
Avowed was so good. I'm just saying, give me Avowed, but make it sci-fi and
more
rock and roll. Like, that's way more up my alley. And so, yeah, I'm stoked for this one. I'm more stoked for this than Ninja Gaiden 4 even. Like, this is on my radar. The humor. I like games with humor. You know how a lot of people are like, I don't need any more Marvel humor and everything. Marvel humor gets baked down to like, he's over my shoulder, isn't he? Type humor often. But also there's like, open the fucking door humor from Guardians 3 that like legitimately makes me laugh. That James Gunn-esque style thing. Mm-hmm. And I think this leans a little bit more towards that James Gunn style compared to like silly Marvel, and I want that. Like the Ben Schwartz, him being the CEO of sequels, I think that's fucking hysterical. And so yeah, sign me up. Outer Worlds 2, can't wait. Next up we have Mina the Hollower, October 31st. 4 out of 10 for me. Please review well. I'm excited for the people that are
7?
excited though. Oh, nice.
I mean, Yacht Club just makes good video games. They've been making Shovel Knight and Shovel Knight spin-offs / DLCs forever now, and they've all been of good quality. I imagine this game is going to be a great video game, and I think that what we've seen so far, specifically with the art style and that like Game Boy style visual flair, looks really interesting. People have played this, I'm pretty sure, around SGF.
Yeah,
I remember I think Easy
so.
Allies talked about it during that time, and they seemed really intrigued by it. I'm intrigued by it. What is coming out around it?
Well, you're not playing shit, dude. So you could get to this one. Yeah.
It's Pokemon, and then that kind of
Ninja Gaiden 4 is October 21st, but that's one of those you could get codes for, and also it's not good. It's not taking you more than 10 days to beat Ninja Gaiden 4. Not a chance.
Okay. That's fair. I think I should have the time, and as long as I have the time, I will check this out.
Next up, we have Unbeatable. This is a game with a really cool art style. I don't know a lot about. It's got music though, and there was a trailer that looked fucking rad. I'm at like an 8. Like, I'm going to play this game. And shout out to Warple Matt for putting it on my radar.
I did not see it at Gamescom. I didn't watch all of it. So, all of the presentation.
So guess what? Your radar? I'm putting it on it, baby. Let's go. You get this on your radar and let's get excited. Call of Duty Black Ops 7. We talked a lot about this at the start of the pod, so we don't need to do too much more. I'm at like an 8. Like, I'm stoked. Oh, maybe even a 7. Like, I'm just really excited to hop in. I'm not expecting this to be on my Game of the Year list, but it's going to be a game I could see myself putting 30, 40, 50 hours into.
2 or 3, there's a chance that I check this out, but not a high one, I would say.
All right. And then moving on, we have Kirby Air Riders, November 20th. Another one we talked a lot about on CGNC. I'm at a 5.
8?
Okay. Damn.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to play this for sure. And I could see myself getting hopelessly addicted to it for a month straight.
Nice.
Do I think this is going to be a forever game for me? No, but I think that it looks like a lot of fun. And I think that it could like get a good competitive scene, if that makes sense. Like where it's not like super serious, but like there's skill to be had and things to learn. And I'm excited to learn this game, learn the ins and outs.
And then lastly, we have Octopath Zero coming out December 4th.
Not going to be an Octopath poser.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a prequel technically.
That's where I'm at, where it's like, especially towards the end of the year, is this something I'm going to download and then like beat throughout the entire year? Probably not. This is where I'm going to play a shit ton of Tekken 3 and Tekken 8 and Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 3 and MVC2 collection and like the games that I want to get to, but I don't feel like I have time to right now, aka fighting games and Cyberpunk. So I'm going to say I'm at a 5 because I want to. And if it reviews well, maybe I get to it, but I just don't know.
This is, you said December?
December 4th.
It's the only December game.
Yeah.
Which I guess is technically fall still.
Yeah.
I am one of those people who December, January, February, that's winter.
Thanksgiving ends. It's winter.
Yeah. I know that it's technically not even close.
Yeah.
But yeah.
By a month.
So we might be talking about this for the winter preview.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But I played the first 10 hours or so of Octopath and loved it. I thought it was so good. And I think I was playing Cuphead at the same time or something. I was juggling both of those games and I ended up just prioritizing Cuphead, and then something else comes out and I get distracted by that. And I never got back to it. I've always said that I would like to get back to Octopath Traveler. And I've heard 2 is even better. I assume this is going to follow that trend and it's going to be another great entry. I could see this being a FOMO situation where like people are really stoked about it. And since it's a prequel and it's December, it's a good time to, play something because there's not a lot of other releases that I might end up hopping into it. So I'll say 4 maybe.
Yeah.
Like I'm interested in this game. I just would like to play the other 2 first.
Connor, there's 3 games you can play for the rest of the year. What are the 3 games?
We're not including Metroid Prime.
No, it's got to be dated.
Why? It's ESRB rated, Nick. We
Connor,
talked about it.
It might not come out this year. That's why. We're talking about games that are dated. 3 games.
Fuck. Well, Ghost for sure.
Yep, that's on my list.
Do I take Hollow Knight over Borderlands and Ninja Gaiden? That's the question.
Say your 3. You got
Ghost of Yotei, Ninja Gaiden, and Hollow Knight.
Connor, is Battlefield 6 going to knock one of those games off your list right now?
No.
Okay. I'm just curious. I wanted to test the waters. My answer is Metal Gear Solid Delta. I'm a sicko. I'm a sicko and I know it, and I'm okay with it. Metal Gear Solid Delta, Ghost of Yotei. Battlefield 6.
Here's the thing with Battlefield 6, where like I know my taste. I know I'm excited about it because I've already played it, and that's why I said 10. And I know that I'm probably going to love it, but I still think I'll probably prefer games like Hollow Knight and Ghost and Ninja Gaiden over Battlefield 6.
I'm going to remove Battlefield 6. I'm going Hollow Knight instead. I'm more excited about Hollow Knight than I am Battlefield 6. Yeah. All right. Draft the clock, baby.
All right.
Connor, what are we drafting today?
Do you want the first pick?
Yep.
All right. Today we are drafting video games that we wish that we liked more. Nick, you have the first pick. What are we picking?
I'm going to choose Skyrim, because this is the game that I get probably the most hate for not enjoying. Maybe this channel gets the most hate for not enjoying more. I think Skyrim is all right, and I wish that I enjoyed it more, but I just can't bring myself to lie to myself and say that I love this game when I just don't enjoy the combat basically at all. Mm-hmm. And that when that is legitimately like 50% of what that game is, I got to knock the points for it. I wish I liked Skyrim more. Connor, what's your first pick?
Real quick, shout out to Elliot in our Discord who gave us the idea for this draft.
Literally like 2 hours ago.
Yeah. It was like perfect timing. I opened the Discord. We were trying to decide what draft we were going to do. And I was like, there it is. Great. Yeah. With my first pick, I'm going to go with The Witcher 3. And I want to say that I'm not totally writing this game off. I tried it in 2015 and just didn't fall in love with it in the same way that everybody else did. I'm not saying that I do not like this game. I just did not get into it enough to the point where I wanted to keep going. And I'm disappointed that I don't like it as much as everybody else. I imagine that if I gave it the proper due, it would change, that my opinion would change on it. But I wish I liked The Witcher 3 more.
Connor, what's next?
With my second pick, we're going to go with Nier Automata. I am so sad that I don't like this game as much as everybody else. This game seemed like a Connor-ass video game. Played it. I don't like the combat very much. I think that the world design is not great. It's really hard to get around this map. It has one of the worst maps in any game I have ever played. I think the side quests are lackluster, but when people talk about Nier Automata, they talk about the story and the different endings, and I gave it all the way to midway through, ending B, route B, and it was like, I'm not really having fun at this point. I think it's a fine video game. I respect a lot of what it's doing with like the different gameplay aspects, but like I just did not fall in love with this one. So that's a game that I wish I liked more.
My next pick is Black Myth Wukong. I wish I enjoyed this game more. I wish I gave this game more of a fair shake, but I didn't have the time for it, and I wasn't enjoying it that much when everyone was starting to pick it up and like really feel out that game. I was doing the same thing. I hopped in for about like 6-7 hours, and I just couldn't have it connect in a way where every other Souls-like experience that I love connected way earlier. There was a hook, whether it is Yarnum just in general or the Tree Sentinel and being like, I got to beat that ass. And like, oh, what's happening there? And so, yeah, I wish that there was more that I loved about Black Myth, and I just can't convince myself that I need to go back to it at this point. And then my next game is Twilight Princess. This is a lot of people's favorite Zelda game, and I just don't understand it. I understand the gritty nature and the finale is great, but some of the temple design just really didn't hit for me, and I didn't love the Link Wolf sections, and I like Midna, but I don't love Midna as a side character. I think it's a great game, but it's not something that I love, and I know a lot of people love it. So that's gonna be my next pick.
With my third pick, I'm going to go with Half-Life 2. This game is lauded as like one of, if not the greatest video game of all time. Valve, a very beloved developer. I enjoyed Half-Life 1, and I would say I enjoyed Half-Life 2, but I did not see that game that people put on that high pedestal when I played it. I respect a lot of the things it has to offer. I think like the different physics and the way that like the gravity gun works is really cool and interesting, but I just didn't fall in love with the story and the characters. The world is pretty interesting, but I think it has pacing issues as you go later. I think the game just goes on a little bit too long. I think it's a good video game. I just am not where everybody else seems to be with it, so I wish I liked it more. My fourth pick is Banjo-Kazooie. I played a good handful of hours of this game. I don't really remember specifically, but I liked it, didn't love it. I think that this is a game that I could come back to at a later point in my life and enjoy more if I really give it the time and really sink further into it. But like it just did not hook me in the way that a lot of people talk about this game being one of the best platformers of all time, one of the best 3D platformers. So like I wish I liked it more. I like the art style. I like the general like wacky tone. I like the music of this game, but I just didn't fall in love with it, unfortunately.
For me, my next pick is Final Fantasy IX. I think Final Fantasy IX is great. I really enjoy Final Fantasy IX, but Connor's reaction alone says that this is a damn good pick.
Get some better taste, Nick. Come on.
It is what it is. Like, I think that this cast is good. I think Vivi's unbelievable, but I think the cast is good. I think that the world is good. I think the combat is good. It's got that unbelievable music. It has some unbelievable moments, but it all just sort of results in me being like, yeah, this is a great experience. 8 out of 10. I just don't love it in the way that I really wish that I did, and the way that so many other people do. And then with my last pick, I'm going to choose Mass Effect. Mass Effect 1. This was one that I kind of felt gaslit by people telling me that it was great. It's not. This game is rough to play in 2024 when I played it. I had a friend recently ask me, should I play Night Rain or should I play the Mass Effect trilogy? And I said, you don't have a ton of time, so play Night Rain. But also, just skip to Mass Effect 2 when you do play the Mass Effect trilogy, because I don't want you to get discouraged by poor game design, bad level design, and not super fun combat. I understand that the world is cool and interesting and introduces us to some legendary characters, but at the end of the day, it's like a 6 out of 10 game, maybe even worse, and I'm okay with that. I wish I liked it more though.
My last pick is Halo Reach. This is actually my least favorite Halo game. I still think it's a fine video game. I don't dislike it by any means. But the core, and this is only for the campaign. I've only played the Halo campaigns. I totally missed the Halo multiplayer scene or whatever, the fever around the Xbox 360 generation Halo multiplayer. But for the campaign, it really comes down to the story for me, and it comes down to characters, and I just do not give a shit about any of these characters. I don't think they're well developed at all, and I think that story lives and dies by its characters, and I just did not end up falling for any of them and having really any interest in any of them. So I think that hurts that game's story quite a bit, and I prefer like even the story in Halo 5 because at least I still care about Cortana and Chief at the very least. So.
All right, some honorable mentions. Mario Sunshine obviously made this list. Valorant. I kind of wish I enjoyed it more because I played a ton of it. Pokemon, any of them, because people have way more nostalgia, especially people around my age and your age and stuff like that, where it's like they grew up with them. I don't have that nostalgia. And then 2 games that I love a lot, but I kind of wish that I spent more time with them to love them even more. Expedition 33 and Tears of the Kingdom.
So you wish you spent more time with them?
Yeah, like I wish I had the chance to. Like I love them, but I wish I loved them even more, which wasn't necessarily what this draft was.
I was going to say Expedition 33 as well because I just want people to stop being mad at me for not liking it more.
Exactly. All right.
My other honorable mentions, I only have a couple because I think this was difficult to pull games for. Like there was like a few key ones, but like usually if I don't love a game, I just like stop thinking about it and just move on with my life. Like it's hard to recollect like years and years ago, like games that I played from my childhood that I might have bounced off of that are of note. So it's more recent stuff like Shenmue. Yeah. I was like,
Beautiful
I tried.
Joe?
No, I love Beautiful Joe. Okay. It's just hard as fuck, dude. It's so difficult. And
sorry to interrupt you. Yeah.
Like I am not good enough at that game to beat it. And I just knew the writing was on the wall once it was like, oh, you have to beat all the bosses again at the end of this game in a row. And it's like, I took 40 tries on one of these bosses and now I have to do it in a row. That's not going to happen. I also have Bastion on here. Did not like that game very much.
All right,
and Ninja Gaiden Rage Band.
Shout out to the amazing members that make this show happen over on patreon.com/co64. If you want to support this team and what we do, the best way to do so is get that bonus content over on Patreon. It means the world to us. And the members at the highest tier get their name read at the end of each and every podcast we do. Amazing members like
Trace Hurd,
Crumbly L,
Sir Shellis,
Lumos,
Ooh Gracie,
Chuzar,
MG Dunbar,
Mr. Munchies,
Farmer Spud,
Rocketator,
Nofi,
Swampy Bits,
Jaxie T,
Tristan C,
Sconesy C,
Strachan 1978,
Dinkelberg Rules,
Centuro,
Hook'em Horns,
Go Nash,
Das Goopy,
Neutral Sphere,
Easton C,
Stooby Dooby Doo,
Nuke This Kingdom,
Crispy,
DJ Zach B,
Uli,
Jacob D,
Big Mac,
Metal Nate,
the Patty Cake,
Bear Pog,
Cowboy Jesus,
Yogi,
Damn,
Holden M,
Colin C,
Brock,
Voodoo,
Milky Sins,
Dr. Pookie Bear,
Alex the Golden,
Andrew H,
Master Diz,
Bad Fellow,
Only One Rufus,
Drifter X1 Skirt,
J Matt B3,
Goops,
Ali Benali,
and Kingdom Hearts Sucks.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Casual Gaming Conversation. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out.